You don't belong in this neighborhood. Women like you don't drive $40,000 cars unless you're selling drugs or selling yourself. Officer Marcus Sullivan spits the words through her window. Jessica Rivera grips the steering wheel. Highway 52, empty road. No witnesses. Officer, I own this. Get out now. He yanks her from the car, spins her hard against the hood. Her face slams into scorching metal. She gasps. He doesn't stop. Handcuffs ratchet tight, steel cutting into her wrists. Don't move! He tears through her glove box. Papers fly onto the asphalt. Then he stops. Straightens up. Plastic bag in his gloved hand. White powder catching sunlight. Cocaine. You're done. That bag wasn't there 30 seconds ago. Officer, check my purse. I don't take orders from criminals. In 2 minutes, you'll wish you had. His smile disappears. Rewind. 6 hours earlier. Jessica Rivera locks her office in Atlanta. Deputy Regional Director, Drug Enforcement Administration. The cases on her desk could put away cartel distributors for life. But today she's going home. 6 months since she's seen her mother. 6 months of excuses until her mother's voice on the phone last Tuesday stopped her cold. Baby, I'm not getting any younger. Just come home. Maria Rivera, 66 years old, voice steady but tired. So Jessica cleared her calendar, packed a bag, got in her car at dawn. The drive from Atlanta to Riverside takes 4 hours. At work, she's Deputy Director Rivera, badge number DEA 4523, top secret clearance, 18 years with the DEA. She runs operations across 3 states. Last month, she dismantled a distribution network moving $10 million in fentanyl. But on Highway 52, she's Maria's daughter. The questions started 15 years ago when Maria came home shaking. An officer pulled her over on Highway 52, said her tail light was out, asked to search her car. Maria said yes. What else could she do? He found nothing. But he kept her there for 90 minutes, made her stand in the cold while cars slowed to watch. Maria never filed a complaint. What would be the point, baby? I didn't have proof, and they protect their own. That story changed Jessica, made her want the badge to catch the officers who use it as a weapon. Now she's 2 exits from home when her rearview mirror lights up. Red and blue, flashing, steady. Jessica's hands tighten on the wheel. She checks her speed. 53 and a 55. Turn signal on. Inspection current, registration valid. No reason for this stop. She pulls onto the shoulder. Engine off. Hands on the wheel and waits. Officer Marcus Sullivan takes his time approaching. Jessica counts the seconds. 30, 40, 50. He's making her wait, making her nervous. Except she's not nervous. She's watching. License and registration. His voice is flat. Jessica reaches for the glove box slowly. Her federal ID is in her purse under the passenger seat, but she doesn't reach for it yet. Sullivan takes the documents. You know why I stopped you? No, sir, I don't. You were swerving. Jessica's jaw tightens. She wasn't swerving. I wasn't aware of that, officer. Sullivan leans down, peers into her back seat. Where you headed? Visiting my mother. What do you do for work? I work for the federal government. His eyes narrow. Doing what? Administration. Administration. He repeats it like the word tastes bad, in a $40,000 car. Must be nice. There it is. The real reason for this stop. Just a black woman in a car he doesn't think she should own. You got anything illegal in this vehicle? Drugs? Weapons? No, sir. Then you won't mind if I take a look. Jessica knows her rights, but refusal means escalation. Go ahead. Sullivan straightens. Keys, his radio. 1078. Need backup at Highway 52. Mile marker 16. Backup for a simple traffic stop. Another cruiser pulls up. Young officer, late 20s. His name tag reads Matthews. His body cam is on. Small red light blinking. Good. Record everything. Step out of the vehicle, ma'am. Jessica complies. August heat hits her like a physical weight. Traffic whooshes past. Drivers slow down to watch. Sullivan walks to his cruiser, returns with blue nitrile gloves. He snaps them on slowly, making sure she sees. I'm going to search your vehicle now. Matthews shifts his weight, looks uncomfortable. Something about his body language feels wrong. Sullivan opens the driver's door, leans in. His body fills the doorway, blocks the angle. She can't see what he's doing, but she hears it. The click of the glove box latch, the rustle of papers, then silence. 3 seconds of silence. When Sullivan straightens up, his expression has changed. Satisfaction. In his gloved hand, he holds a small plastic bag. Clear white powder inside. Jessica stares at it. She cleaned that glove box last week. That bag wasn't there 2 minutes ago. Ma'am, can you explain this? Sullivan's voice is steady, rehearsed. Jessica's mind moves faster than her mouth. Training kicks in. Document everything. Control the narrative. Stay calm. That's not mine. It was in your glove box. I've never seen it before. That's what they all say. Sullivan almost smiles. Matthews stands 3 feet back, arms crossed, face pale. He won't look at Jessica. He knows. She can read it in his posture. He's seen this before and he stayed quiet. Ma'am, I need you to turn around. Hands behind your back. The metal handcuffs are cold. They bite into her wrists. Ratchet, click, click, click. Each notch tighter than necessary. A car passes, slows down. Someone inside points, takes out their phone. Another witness who will see this and think guilty before they hear innocent. Sullivan's radio crackles. Unit 23, 1015 confirmed. Contraband located, 1 in custody. Jessica calculates. She could tell him now. Show him the badge. Federal agent. DEA. 18 years. Game over, but something stops her. If she reveals herself too early, she'll never know how deep this goes. How many others has Sullivan done this to? How many people without federal badges? You have the right to remain silent. The Miranda warning sounds distant, hollow. Jessica focuses on what matters. Evidence. Her phone is in the cup holder. Voice recorder app running. Started the moment she saw those lights. Everything recorded. Matthews clears his throat. Marcus, maybe we should handle the scene, Kevin. Sullivan cuts him off. Sharp, defensive. Another cruiser arrives. Sergeant pulls up. Gray hair, weathered face. He steps out slowly, takes in the scene. What have we got? Found cocaine in the glove box. Sullivan holds up the bag like a trophy. The sergeant looks at Jessica, at her posture, at her calm face. She say anything? Says it's not hers. Sullivan almost laughs. They all say that. The sergeant doesn't laugh. Process her at the station. I'll secure the scene. Jessica speaks. Her voice cuts through the afternoon heat like a knife. Calm, clear, professional. Officer Sullivan, before you take me anywhere, there's something in my purse you need to see. The words land like stones. Silence. Sullivan stares at her. Your what? My purse under the passenger seat. There's a wallet inside. You need to look at it. Matthews goes rigid. The sergeant steps closer. What are you talking about? Look in the purse. You'll understand. Ma'am, I don't take instructions from... Trust me. Jessica's voice drops lower, quieter, more dangerous. You want to see what's in that wallet before you put me in your car? Sullivan's jaw tightens. He reaches into the car, pulls out the leather purse, sets it on the hood, unzips it slowly. His hand finds the wallet inside. He opens it and stops breathing. Silver badge. Federal Eagle embossed in metal. 8 words. Drug Enforcement Administration. Deputy Regional Director. Below that, photo ID, Jessica Rivera. Badge number DEA 45223. Clearance level top secret. Sullivan's face goes white. The badge slips from his fingers. He catches it, stares like the words might change. Matthews sees it over his shoulder, takes 2 steps back, then 3. The sergeant takes the badge, studies it, looks at Jessica, back at the badge. His jaw tightens. Take the cuffs off. Sir, Now, Officer Sullivan, the handcuffs release. Jessica brings her hands forward, rubs her wrists where the metal bit deep. Red marks forming. The cocaine sits on the hood. Chain of custody broken. Except Jessica's not the defendant. The sergeant hands back her credentials. She clips the badge to her belt where it should have been visible from the start. I need your badge number, Officer Sullivan. Her voice is different now. This is the voice that commands federal courtrooms. Badge number 23459, his voice cracks. And yours, Officer Matthews. Matthews stammers it out. Jessica types both into her phone. Timestamps, location, everything documented. Sullivan reaches for his radio, fumbles, catches it. 1088. Need supervisor at Highway 52, mile marker 16. The timestamp reads 16 hours, 34 minutes, and 6 seconds. 52 seconds from glove box to this moment. That's all it took to end an 18-year career. The sergeant clears his throat. Deputy Director Rivera, I apologize. Don't, Jessica cuts him off. You weren't the one who planted evidence on a federal agent. The word hangs there. Planted. Sullivan flinches. I didn't plant anything. There was probable cause. The swerving. There was no swerving. My phone recorded this entire stop. Jessica gestures to her car. Audio, timestamps, everything. Matthews goes pale. His body cam caught it too. I need to call my chief. You do that. Tell Chief Hamilton I'll be at the station in 30 minutes. Your department can explain this then. The sergeant nods. Yes, ma'am. I need copies of all dash and body camera footage. The evidence bag needs proper logging. This vehicle stays secured until federal forensics processes it. Understood. Jessica picks up the cocaine bag, holds it to the light. High-quality powder. Street value maybe $600, but its real value is evidence. Evidence of corruption. How many? She asks quietly. Sullivan won't answer. She hands the bag to the sergeant. Document everything. That Officer Sullivan removed this from my vehicle and that I completely dispute its origin. Yes, ma'am. Jessica gets in her car. Engine starts smooth. She rolls down the window, looks at Sullivan one last time. I was driving home to see my mother. That's all. Just visiting my mother. The weight of those words settles over everyone. She pulls away. In her rearview mirror, Sullivan stands frozen in the middle of Highway 52, holding his radio like it might save him. It won't, because 52 seconds ago his career ended, and the recording that proves it is already backed up to 3 federal servers. Elena Chen types the name into her database. 23 results appear. Her coffee goes cold. 8 years as an investigative journalist with the Riverside Tribune, but 23 complaints against one officer, all unresolved. That's not misconduct. That's a pattern. She clicks the first file. Male motorist stopped on Highway 52. Marijuana found. Charges dismissed due to procedural errors. Second file. Female motorist. Cocaine in glove box. Charges dismissed. Evidence contamination. The pattern emerges. Highway 52. Always. Highway 52. Late afternoon stops. Solo drivers, almost always black. Drugs in convenient locations. Officer Marcus Sullivan's name on every report. Elena opens his personnel file. 18 years with Riverside PD. 3 commendations. 0 sustained complaints. Then she sees it. One line in his 2022 review. Officer Sullivan consistently meets and exceeds monthly arrest quotas. Arrest quotas. Elena searches department policy. Officers evaluated on monthly arrests. Minimum targets. 15 drug arrests per quarter. Bonuses tied to exceeding targets. A quota system rewarding volume over justice. Her phone rings. Thomas Crawford, Internal Affairs. You seeing this? His voice tight. 23 complaints, 0 sustained. Nobody had proof until now. He sends video footage. Elena watches 3 times. Sullivan at the vehicle. Opening glove box. Body blocks the angle. 3 seconds. Then cocaine appears. Check the evidence room logs, Crawford says. Elena opens the file. Cocaine logged for testing. Awaiting results. Awaiting disposal. 8 entries flagged red. Cocaine checked out, never returned. Status, missing. She cross-references Sullivan's shift schedule. Every single match. He's stealing from evidence to plant on people. Can't prove it yet, but the pattern's there. Elena pulls up bank records. Sullivan's account. Monthly salary deposits $48,000 annually. But additional deposits appear monthly. $800, $900, $1,200. Different routing numbers. She checks the bonus disbursement schedule. Perfect alignment. He's getting paid for manufactured arrests. It goes higher, Crawford says. Much higher. Her phone rings. Unknown number. Elena Chen. Yes, I can't give my name, but I need to tell you about Marcus Sullivan. Elena hits record. I'm listening. I worked with him. 2 years patrolled together. He bragged about his numbers, about how easy it was. You just stop the right people. Nobody questions what you find. Nobody believes them. Did you see him plant evidence? Long silence. I saw things I should have reported. I didn't. But what happened yesterday was my wake-up call. The line goes dead. Jessica sits in her mother's living room reading complaint files. Maria brings tea, sits beside her daughter. Waits. 23 files. 23 people. Anthony Rodriguez. She knows his younger brother. Alicia Martin, church choir. Terrence Washington, barbershop owner on Main. People she knows. People arrested. People who couldn't prove planted evidence because they had no dash cams, no badges, no lawyers who'd believe them. How many didn't fight? Jessica asks. Maria's hand covers hers. Most of them. Fighting means lawyers you can't afford. Time off work. Everyone knowing your face in the paper. Sometimes pleading guilty is easier. Take probation. Pay fines. Move on. So they get records for crimes they didn't commit. That's how it works when you can't fight. Every file represents someone who tried, someone who said this isn't right. And the system closed ranks every time, until Sullivan stopped the wrong person. Crawford calls. Found something. Performance metrics aren't just Sullivan. The entire department runs on arrest quotas tied to federal grant funding from a private prison contractor, Corrections Corp. Inc. Jessica closes her eyes. Financial incentive to boost arrests. Exactly. More arrests mean more grant money. More. Money means bigger budgets, better equipment, promotions, bonuses. The system feeds itself. And Sullivan's a top performer, top 5 for drug arrests 3 years running. Because he plants evidence, Jessica opens email. Types carefully. Recipients. DEA Regional Director Atlanta, FBI Public Corruption Unit, DOJ Civil Rights Division. Subject. Systemic evidence planting and civil rights violations, Riverside PD. Her finger hovers over send. This will explode her hometown, put people under federal investigation, make her a target. But she thinks about 23 names. Her mother 15 years ago. The next person Sullivan would stop. She hits send. Days pass. Elena's story publishes front page. Federal agent stopped after officer allegedly plants cocaine. Part of larger pattern. Comments explode. People sharing stories. More names. More Highway 52 stops. Crawford's investigation expands. One officer becomes 4, then 6. 23 complaints become 68. The evidence stacks higher. Local news picks it up. Then regional, then national. The pressure builds. City Council demands answers. At 5 p.m. on day 3, the Riverside Police Benevolent Association releases a statement. It doesn't defend Sullivan's actions. It attacks Jessica instead. Officer Marcus Sullivan is a decorated 18-year veteran with an exemplary service record. The allegations represent a rush to judgment. While we respect Deputy Director Rivera's position with the DEA, her federal credentials do not place her above scrutiny. There it is. The spin. Not defending Sullivan's actions, just questioning her credibility. They're calling this a political attack on law enforcement, saying you have an anti-police agenda, Elena says. That you're using your federal position to weaponize a routine traffic stop. Routine? Jessica's voice is cold. He planted cocaine in my car. They're not denying that directly. They're just creating doubt. The statement mentions Maria's complaint from 15 years ago. Suggests this is personal vendetta. How did they even know about my mother? Public records. They did their research. Jessica opens Twitter. The hashtag is trending. Stand with Sullivan. Thousands of posts. Comments calling her anti-police, race baiter, federal overreach. Her phone rings. Her supervisor at DEA Atlanta. Jessica, we need to talk. His tone says this isn't good news. I've been getting calls from Riverside officials from the police union. They're saying you're conducting a personal investigation that should go through proper channels. I was targeted. Evidence was planted on me. I believe you, but there's pressure. Political pressure. They're suggesting you should recuse yourself. Translation. Let it go. Make it quiet. I'm not backing down. I'm not asking you to, but be aware. You're making enemies, powerful enemies. He hangs up. Jessica sits in her mother's living room, the same living room where she sat 15 years ago listening to her mother describe being humiliated on Highway 52. History repeating. Maria comes in, face worried. Baby, there's a police car outside. Jessica looks through the window. Riverside PD cruiser parked across the street. engine running. Officer inside just sitting there, watching the house. How long? About an hour. Message received. We know where you live. We can be here anytime we want. The doorbell rings. Neighbor from 3 houses down. Mrs. Patterson. Jessica, I just wanted to say we saw the news. We know you. We know you're telling the truth. Thank you. But some folks, they're talking, saying you're causing trouble, saying maybe you should just let this go for the sake of peace. There it is. The pressure not from police, from community, from people who just want things to stay quiet. I can't do that, Mrs. Patterson. I know, baby. Just be careful. Jessica's phone vibrates constantly. Text messages, emails, some supportive, most hostile. Maybe you should think about this. Is it really worth destroying your career? We need police. Don't make this harder for the good ones. The isolation sets in. People choosing sides, most choosing the safe side. Maria sits beside her. They did this to your aunt back in the 90s. She tried to fight the school board. They went after her job, her reputation, her friends. She eventually stopped. Was she right? Maria is quiet for a long moment. At the time, maybe. But those problems she tried to fix, still there. Maybe if she'd kept fighting. Jessica looks at the cruiser, still parked outside, at her phone still buzzing with hostile messages, at her mother's worried face. She thinks about the easy path. Recuse herself, let someone else handle it, go back to Atlanta. Then she thinks about 23 complaint files. 23 people who had no choice but to give up. She picks up her phone, starts typing. The termination threat letter sits open. Official DEA letterhead. Legal language. The message? Cooperate quietly or face administrative review. The kitchen clock ticks loud in the silence. Maria stands at the stove, tea kettle whistling. Outside, the cruiser is still there. 3rd night in a row. Jessica's phone vibrates. She doesn't look. More hostile messages. Maybe they're right. Maria's voice is soft, tired. What? Maybe this isn't worth it. Your career, your safety, our peace. I'm scared they're going to hurt you. Mama, you remember that night 15 years ago? Maria's face hardens. Of course I remember. Tell me what happened. Why? Please. Maria is quiet, then starts talking, voice low. I was driving home from your aunt's house late. Officer pulled me over. Said my tail light was out. I checked the next day. Nothing was wrong. Asked if the car was mine, where I got money for it, if I had drugs. Made me stand outside while he searched. Found nothing. Other cars drove past. People I knew watching me get treated like a criminal. Why didn't you file a complaint? Because I was scared. I didn't have proof. Just my word against his, and we both know whose word they'd believe. If you had fought then, maybe you wouldn't have to now. I know. I've thought about that every day. Jessica looks at her mother's hands. 66 years old, still shaking when she talks about that night. 15 years later, still carrying it. The system counted on Maria being afraid. It's counting on Jessica being smart. But smart and silent aren't the same thing. Jessica scrolls through contacts, finds a name she hasn't called in 3 years. Lieutenant Raymond Bennett retired from Riverside PD in 2022. One of the few good ones. The phone rings twice. Jessica Rivera. I didn't think I'd ever hear from you. Lieutenant Bennett, we need to talk. They call them performance metrics. Bennett's voice is steady. Tired but steady. We called them quotas. 15 drug arrests per quarter. If you didn't hit your numbers, you got written up, passed over for promotion. I sent a memo to Internal Affairs in 2021, warned them the pressure was creating problems. Officers taking shortcuts, making questionable stops. The memo got filed. Nothing changed. Do you still have a copy? I have everything. Bennett emails the documents. His 2021 memo to IIA. 3 pages detailing how arrest quotas led to bad stops. Questionable searches. Evidence that appeared too conveniently. I should have done more. Should have gone public, but I had 2 years until retirement pension to protect. So I stayed quiet and hated myself for it. You're speaking now. That's what matters. What happened to you was my wake-up call. Bennett's testimony opens floodgates. Other officers call. Officer Kevin Matthews, the backup officer at Jessica's stop. His body cam caught everything. He comes forward, offers to testify. Says he's seen Sullivan do questionable things before, but never had proof until now. Elena's phone doesn't stop ringing. More victims, more stories. 8 people provide notarized statements. Anthony Rodriguez stopped in 2019. Cocaine found in trunk. Charges dismissed. Alicia Martin stopped in 2020. Pills found in console. Testing revealed legal medication. Terrence Washington stopped in 2021. Same glove box placement Sullivan used on Jessica. The pattern is identical. Late afternoon, Highway 52. Solo drivers, almost all black. Drugs appearing in convenient locations. Elena writes the follow-up story. 4,000 words. The Riverside Tribune publishes it online at dawn. By noon, it's gone viral. Picked up by state papers, regional news, national outlets. By 3 p.m., the local NAACP chapter holds a press conference. Standing room only. They demand federal investigation, independent oversight, review of every arrest Sullivan made in the past 5 years. By evening, a community meeting fills the Baptist church. 200 people, overflow crowd standing in parking lot. Pastor Williams speaks. His son Anthony stands beside him. This isn't about one bad officer. It's about a system that protected him, that ignored complaints, that valued numbers over justice. They form a coalition. Riverside Accountability Now. Lawyers volunteer. Activists mobilize. Every arrest Sullivan touched will be reviewed. Jessica watches the live stream. She's not alone anymore. Maria sits beside her, squeezes her hand. You did this. We did this. Jessica's phone buzzes. Crawford. The federal report just landed. You need to see this now. The federal audit is 89 pages long. Page 43 changes everything. Tell me I'm reading this right. You are. Corrections Corp. Inc., a private prison contractor. They paid Riverside PD $340,000 over 3 years listed as public safety grants. Grants based on what criteria? Arrest numbers. More arrests mean demonstrated need for correctional facilities. More need means more funding. Jessica scrolls through the audit. The financial trail is clear. Every quarter, Corrections Corp reviews arrest statistics. Every quarter, they adjust grant amounts based on performance. The department's budget presentations show it plainly. Grant revenue increases every year tied directly to drug arrest rates. They literally get paid more for arresting more people. Correct. And Chief Hamilton received $45,000 in administrative bonuses over the same period tied to department performance. Metrics. Chief Harold Hamilton. 22 years with Riverside PD, last 8 as chief. The man who buried 23 complaints. The man who signed off on Sullivan's performance reviews. The man who benefited financially. Where's the email trail? Crawford sends another file. Email dated June 14, 2024. From Chief Hamilton to all supervisors. Subject, Q3 performance goals. Team, we need to hit 180 drug arrests this quarter to maintain our grant renewal with Corrections Corp. Current numbers put us at 135 with 6 weeks remaining. Everyone needs to step up. Promotion considerations will reflect individual contributions. Translation. Make more arrests or your career suffers. Another email, July 8th. Supervisor to Sullivan specifically. Marcus, you're at 8 arrests for the quarter. Need minimum 12 to meet expectations. 15 to exceed. Highway 52 patrol should provide opportunities. Direct pressure. Documented pressure. Email after email. The paper trail of a corrupt system. Not just Sullivan. The entire command structure participating in or enabling a quota system that incentivized illegal behavior. City council budget meetings show they knew. Approved budgets based on projected grant revenue. Mayor's office knew. Emails discussing how Corrections Corp funding helped close budget gaps, allowed equipment purchases, funded salary increases. The entire political structure built on a foundation of manufactured crime. 129 arrests flagged for review. 68% involving black defendants. 43% had charges dropped or reduced. Evidence integrity questions in 31 cases. How many convictions need to be overturned? Dozens. Maybe more. Elena's phone explodes with the story. Federal audit reveals Riverside PD received hundreds of thousands in grants tied to arrest quotas. By evening, every major outlet picks it up. CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, NPR. The story goes national. Riverside Police Department. Population 43,000. Small town, big corruption. Chief Hamilton issues a statement denying personal knowledge of any quota system. Claims performance metrics are standard law enforcement practice. But the emails say otherwise. His name on every budget approval, every grant application, every performance directive. City Council calls an emergency session. Public testimony September 3rd, 5 days away. Sullivan will be there. Chief Hamilton will be there. And Jessica will be ready with every receipt. City Council chambers, September 3rd. Every seat filled, cameras everywhere. National news. Council President bangs the gavel. Deputy Director Rivera, the floor is yours. Jessica approaches the microphone. Federal badge visible on her belt. No notes in her hands. My name is Jessica Rivera, Deputy Regional Director, Drug Enforcement Administration. On August 16th, Officer Marcus Sullivan planted cocaine in my vehicle. Silence. I have recordings. Video showing the glove box empty before he searched it. Body cam from backup officer showing his movements. All time-stamped, all documented. She pauses. This isn't just about me. Internal Affairs records show 23 complaints against Sullivan. 19 involved black motorists. 0 were sustained. She clicks the remote. Screen lights up behind her. Officer Sullivan received $14,000 in performance bonuses over 3 years, tied directly to arrest numbers. Next slide. Evidence logs. 8 instances of cocaine missing from evidence. All during Sullivan's shifts, all matching weights in his arrests. Next slide. The email large, clear. Chief Harold Hamilton wrote, "We need to hit 180 drug arrests this quarter to maintain grant renewal. June 2024. Murmurs spread through the room. This department rewarded arrests over justice. Manufactured evidence, ignored complaints to protect $340,000 in grant funding from Corrections Corp. Inc. She looks at Chief Hamilton in the front row. 129 arrests need review. Dozens of wrongful convictions. People serving probation right now for crimes they didn't commit. All because this department needed numbers. The room erupts. Applause, shouts, cameras flashing. Sullivan's attorney stands. My client invokes Fifth Amendment rights. No testimony. Sullivan walks out. Every camera follows. Chief Hamilton stands, approaches the microphone, face red, voice shaking. These allegations misrepresent standard practices. Performance metrics exist in every department. We had no knowledge of improper conduct. Council member Diane Foster interrupts. Chief Hamilton, we received your budget presentation in June. It outlined grant revenue tied to increased arrests. We approved it. Complete silence. Foster's face goes white. She just admitted the council knew, approved the system, enabled everything. I mean, that wasn't too late. Council president bangs the gavel hard. Motion for independent federal oversight. Immediate consent decree. All in favor. 7 hands rise. Every single one. Unanimous. This department is under federal investigation. Effective immediately. The crowd erupts again. Cheering, some crying. Chief Hamilton sits down, stares at his hands. His career just ended on live television. Sullivan is already in his car, driving away from cameras, from questions, from accountability that finally caught up. By 6 a.m. the next morning, Chief Hamilton's resignation letter arrives by email. 2 sentences, no explanation. City Council schedules another emergency meeting. Police union threatens lawsuits. But the consent decree stands. Federal monitors arrive within a week. Every policy reviewed, every arrest examined, every officer interviewed. 129 cases flagged. 34 convictions overturned in the first month. More coming. Marcus Sullivan's termination is immediate. No pension, no appeal. Federal charges pending. Outside the chambers, Jessica stands in the parking lot, phone to her ear. Mama, it's done. Maria's voice cracks. You did it, baby. We did it. Officer Marcus Sullivan's termination is effective immediately. No pension, no appeal. Federal charges for evidence tampering and civil rights violations pending trial. Chief Harold Hamilton resigns. The Department of Justice opens a criminal investigation into corruption and fraud. Councilmember Diane Foster faces recall petitions. 129 cases enter mandatory review. 34 convictions overturned in the first 60 days. More coming. People walking out of probation offices, records being expunged, lives being restored. The reforms come fast. 5-year federal consent decree. Mandatory body cams for all interactions. Evidence room gets dual custody protocols. Arrest quotas banned and written into city code. Independent civilian review board established. $2.3 million allocated for a compensation fund. Not enough to fix what was broken, but a start. Months later, Jessica drives Highway 52 again. Same road, same heat, same pine trees, but different now. Patrol cars pass without stopping. No more profiling, no more planted evidence. The world is watching Riverside now. She pulls into her mother's driveway. Maria stands on the porch, smiling. Some people saw a target that day. She became the catalyst for change. The badge doesn't grant immunity. It demands accountability. And when systems fail that standard, it takes someone willing to risk everything to remind us what justice actually means. Sometimes the most powerful revolutions don't come with noise. Just one person standing their ground.